I think the woman just doesn't like a man who has no vision and is just sitting and flipping channels and going to football and all that. But an empowered woman would appreciate a man who is making some steps upward, you understand?
Yeah.
So we need, and it goes back to, we are broken men. We have a problem with powerful women. And as you said, our sons, whether it's biological or otherwise, are observing that.
Yeah.
So they're picking the anger we have on the empowered women. Go on social media. You will see the anger. So what are we doing? We're handing over the baton from the cage to another cage.
Yeah.
So this book must be revised 10 years from today as well.
The empowered woman places pressure on the position. This is what I need to bring this. Why
Please,
she
bring it
places pressure is if you lead a team that outdoes you, then there is a pressure, because then the leadership becomes the lead. And that is what the men did not know how to do. Before, a man's role was very easy. You marry a woman, you take care of her. That's all, economically.
Yeah.
Today, the woman can go out and work and earn her money. So what needed to happen is for the man to redefine his roles so that he remains relevant. And that's the pressure now that I was talking about. Because most men used to identify themselves or define themselves by what they can provide to a woman. And so a woman would not leave because the man says, where will you go? I'm the one who takes care of you and all of that. A woman would stay in a marriage that is abusive because the man earns and she's at home and she has nothing. So now she has her own money. Now she's empowered. So what is the need of this man?
Right.
The man must redefine his role.
But why does he need to redefine his role? If he's secure in himself, he has found his identity, he knows who he is. Shouldn't he be happy and proud that, you know what, his partner is empowered and together we can walk this journey?
Yes, but you see, if all I thought is that I'm supposed to be a provider, and then now I don't think that my provision is
now
measuring
I don't think. Full
Yeah.
stop. The end of that
No,
phrase.
I
That's
don't
it. That's
think
the
that-
answer we are looking for. Thinking stop.
that I'm a provider,
Yes.
then I may feel a bit frustrated. Yet, there are other roles that a man should play.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to come to.
Okay.
There are other roles that a man should play. One of them is that of providing leadership. Two is providing security and safety. Three is being a model of values.
Yes. Let's
To
talk
your
about
children.
values. I was going to values actually. You know your book, eh? I was going to values.
It's a model of, shaping these values in these people. You live more in them by talking to them, teaching them, training them, than you would when all you pass on is just physical things.
Right.
And so men need to understand that the greatest need, even for a woman, is not even the physical things. No. She needs those just for her life to be a bit better, but that's not the primary thing that she needs. Her emotional needs are very important. To feel that sense of security and belonging. I talk about the 10 rules, the 10 commandments of a husband over here. And I talk about certain things that a man must do with his woman, the affirmation, the affection, and all of that. So when we understand that she needs more than just the money, even when I don't have the money, and as Robert says, that does not mean be lazy. Even when I don't have that, I still need to play these other roles.
Yeah.
I shouldn't leave just
Yeah.
because I think, oh, she's earning more than me, so she wants respect. No.
So why would they think like that? I'm really on that. Apostle, this will be a two-part series. Because this is a two-part series. We must set women free.
You see, a woman is complicated, I can say that, in this sense.
Let's hear that then.
There is an aspect of a woman because in the book, she needs acknowledgement as a
Yes.
man. That's how God created man, to take care
Yes.
of the woman.
Yes.
She needs affirmation, she needs affection, she needs all this. And I think it's like what is expected from man, it is also difficult to get out unless this man has found identity in God. You can't give what you don't have. If I don't have, I can't give. So that means I am lacking. That means when I'm giving, you fill the gaps. So that means, and the woman has to keep on drawing from the man who is not empowered, or rather who is not drawing from. So that means she will get frustrated.
Yes.
And then I am the one who is supposed to pass values. So that means I need to have the values for me to pass it.
Yes.
That means the challenge is that the men have not been empowered to get enough values, or even when they have them, they don't know how to pass it. I don't know whether when we do even couples program, you find that women always it's not how you correct me, it's not correcting me, it's how
you do it.
How you do it.
That means that even if the how becomes a challenge. So
You need to talk softly. See now.
Now, where was the class where we are taught to be soft? So that is the challenge.
And you know, like when you talk about this, you talk about how women are complicated or something. I think, you know, we are very result oriented. Very result oriented. So my thinking is, I want to do this and get that. Women enjoy process. They live in the now. She can actually just want to be with you. You're thinking, okay, so why are we sitting for 2 hours or something? What is coming out of this? You know, but the man wants to know that from point A, I'm going to point B. That's where part of the frustration usually comes in. When there is no result. When there's nothing that he can see at the end of it. Now, the woman is a sentimental being also. There are certain things that do not have to have any physical attributes to them. She enjoys the process of it. She just enjoys that you thought about it. She enjoys that you took time to talk to her. The man is thinking, if I'm talking to somebody on phone, it needs to produce a business. If I'm doing this, it needs to get to a deal. So when you bring these two people together, their thought processes are very different. There's one who enjoys the process. There's one who's looking for a product. A woman feels, you need to know me before you engage me. A man is feeling, I've known you. Can we go to bed? He's always going to the end. The woman is thinking, the process, spend time with me, talk to me and all that. The man is thinking, I'm talking to her because at the end, he already has this. He wants to take her to bed. If she does not want to go to bed, the conversation stops because he's not a process person. And this is where now sometimes you find a dichotomy where there is this breakdown in how we communicate.
Hey, your cages are complex.
They're very simple.
Your cages, my God, there's something here about your words are your currency in relationships. This your chapter on men of honor. Talk about words. Let's see about how their currency, Robert.
Words.
Yes.
Words are key. That is why if you want to break a man, let the woman say something wrong about him. There are things, a man could be married for 30 years. There's something his wife told him on day number 5 of their marriage. 30 years later, it still breaks him. So for us, to be honest with you, as a man, and the strategy I use, because sometimes you're in a space where the wrong words are spoken over our lives. So for me, I've kind of mastered the art of speaking to myself. And I speak the words that I want somebody else to say it, but because maybe you're being starved of those words, you speak them forth. And I believe when you speak them forth, they start moving and they will wait for you at a junction that when they need to manifest. And also, on the other side of the coin, if as a man, I may not have money, I may not have the big car, because we're very materialistic people, but I can tell you something, and if you can tell me, you know what, I can take you by your word, I'll feel like I'm the greatest man on earth. If I can hear you say the words you've given me, what you're saying, I can take it to the bank, makes me feel very good.
Women respond to words. Women respond to words. The words that we speak to a woman also will make or break. A man is a seed carrier. Just like in the natural, a man is a seed carrier. His thoughts, his words are seeds. And so as much as, you know, Robert will talk about the words you speak to a man, every man must be careful what they say. They must be very careful what they say. When you throw out too much of money outside there, it loses value. Your word must count as a man, and that is your honor. That when a man gives his word. He needs to go out of his way to keep his word. If a man gives a promise, he needs to go out of his way. The man and his word need to be like the same thing. Otherwise, he loses that authority in the eyes of his wife, in the eyes of the women around him, or in the eyes of, not the women around him, as in the women around him.
You've alluded to women around here. Anyway,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but in the eyes of his children, because they don't take you serious. So you lose authority. The highest authority you will ever have is the moral authority over people, not financial authority. You can be somebody who has very little money, but people respect you. They respect you because your word can be trusted. It's what is called an integrity. So if I say one thing and my sons see me doing another thing, if I say one thing and my wife cannot take it to the bank, I keep on making promises that I don't keep, my currency loses value. When I need to transact, I can't purchase anything. So I'll keep, then now some other things will come up, like, you use anger, you use threats, you use control. That is when you have lost authority. Then you have to use other means to get something done.
That's profound.
Yeah.
As we wind up, Abraham, what stood out the most to you in this book when you read it?
What stood out is the discovery of man, getting back to the presence of God. For me, that is just getting me right there. Because everything is about God, because God placed man in the garden, and he gave him instructions. And these instructions, I stick to them. I remain in the presence, that I can lead, I can take care, I can take care of the garden, that is my children, and I become a man of honor if I am in God. So every man out there, let's get back to God. That's where our original placement is.
But we already have so many men in God. And still in cages.
Yeah, but they will get out.
How?
We are working in process.
Men haven't been trained. Men need this. Men need that. Men need this.
We are working in progress.
Are we making excuses for this species?
No, we shouldn't.
We're not making excuses. It's a diagnosis.
Yes.
It's a diagnosis. And I think that then, just bringing up the necessity of the book, I think the first thing that I had to do when I started going out, trying to talk to men, was for us to accept that there's a problem. Because you can't fix something that you're in denial of. So we needed to first of all accept there's a problem. Then now we begin to chart the cause. So I think what we have done is a diagnosis. It's not excuse. It is to get people to face it that, look, there's something you need to fix. Because I still am a counselor, Catherine, and the hardest people to get into a counseling room are men. Even when their marriage is breaking down, their wives will set up an appointment, the man will find an excuse because they're not accepting that there is a problem. And so we must bring that, let's accept that there's certain things we're not doing right. Then we can seek help about it. That's the part that women beat us in, because they'll just accept.
Yeah.
I need to be fixed. I need to talk to somebody. I need to see somebody. Yeah.
Robert?
For me, the one thing that blew my mind off was a clarion call to men. When we say men need to grow together, we need to pull together and grow economically, emotionally, and financially. And to have this thing that if the devil touches one of us, then he has touched all of us. When a man can feel secure, there is no stopping that man in upward mobility. But we need to be safe in that space where I can say, you're a fellow man. If the devil touches you, I'm going down to the trenches with you. We fight that devil and we come out. It may mean me dirtifying myself, but as long as I get you out. Once we can bring that to the men, the society will get back to where it's supposed to be.
So how will you even know the devil is touching him and he doesn't even talk? He doesn't give you his problems.
Yes, and it's true. And that's
He's
why
not telling you what he's going through.
That's what he said in the book about the cry that may not be as loud. We need to know. I know when I'm crying. You will not. Somebody told me the other day, Robert, you didn't post anything on your Facebook for 3 days. Guess what? I was crying. And that friend of mine, a cousin of mine, he says, are you okay? So if I know how I cry, then I'll be able to pick how other men cry that is close to mine. Then when I reach out, he'll also reach out to somebody else. and then we just grow as one big
So now
force.
you've added as work. We need to know how you cry. We need to figure out, Abraham cries like this.
Yeah.
Guys.
And if men can feel safe, they will grow in this after feeling safe. And if they grow, the women will feel secure. And if the women feel secure, the men are in their place of authority, the children will have direction.
I don't think it's the ladies that will fix this. I don't think we're putting this on the ladies that try to figure us out. I just think that men need to know how to relate with men.
Men to men.
Yeah, because then it becomes safer and it becomes easier.
Yeah.
Then it's easier then even for the women than to relate with the men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me in the book is where you say something about if you isolate yourself, you assassinate yourself, something like that.
Yeah, when you're isolated, you get assassinated.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
It's the common place that men love to go to.
Yeah.
So something is not working, as you say, sometimes you find somebody now is no longer chatting on WhatsApp group, he's at home, he's quiet, he's all that. And because again, as I say, they don't know how to deal with failure, because they think that failure is completely final, and it is not true. You can always pick up yourself. And sometimes the greatest strength you will have is the people around you, including probably even the lady in your life. You may think she won't understand, she's not strong enough to handle this. If she can handle you, she can handle some of the stuff that you're going with.
Yeah, because actually there are people who are not able to receive comfort. So you're there, you're giving everything you know how, but they're unable to receive that comfort, that strength, that help.
And you know, when you don't deal with one of the things, one of the emotions that we may not know how to deal with is things like grief, things like loss. So what happens? It turns into anger. It turns into anger. Yeah. So this person toughens up. He's always harsh all over this place. People think the man is tough. No, the stuff that he did not deal with. And men need to know that within you, you're an emotional being as much as you're an intellectual being. We cannot focus just on one side. The emotional intelligence of men must also be upped. When that comes, and it becomes easier for us to do a lot of other things. So do not be afraid in the safe places, people that you relate with, people that you trust, people who are family, good friends. Do not be afraid to be vulnerable. You can't even be accountable when you're not vulnerable. So do not be afraid. Seek help. Don't stay there. Don't cry forever. But don't try to act like you have it all together.
Yeah. That's a good place to pause for now. There has to be a part 2 of this conversation. Because I haven't understood anything.
Because you're not a man.
I should be able to understand it for the sake of the women. You know, at least say, I get it. But now here we have men, they don't like to tell each other problems. Then men who are praised, but then they go haywire. So you're like, okay, they're looking for praise, but you had it. Then others who did not have it, but here they are. There's a lot to take in. Look, like your last book, Leprous Generals. I got lots of messages, especially from men who wanted the freebies I was giving. You see, again, it's the men who wanted the freebies. I'm like, surely buy yourself this book. But so like that book, this one, and there's a lot you haven't discussed. And one of the analogies that really, really touched me was what you gave the first analogy between what happened in heaven between God and the devil. And I mean Lucifer the angel, sorry. So, and how everything just drew from that. And I thought that was really profound. Sorry, we don't have time to go into it. Maybe if there's a part 2. But just get this book to try and understand where you come from, I think, at the very least. I haven't understood, but that's okay because, you know, I just need to understand where we come from as women. But I thank you for watching. The book, Lions Uncaged by Chris J. Atemo. Keep writing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You fill our shelves with wonderful writings. Do you have a book, Abraham?
Yes.
Hey, you have a book.
The Destructive Nature of Sex Before Marriage.
That's for the midnight show. I can't even repeat the title. That's for the midnight show. Robert, you have a book?
Yes, released in about a month, called Mask Off.
So say that again?
Mask Off.
Mask Off. That's your second book?
It's the first one that I have rewritten and changed a few things.
Right.
It's a book totally about vulnerability.
I would love to review that book.
You will get it, believe you me.
Okay, vulnerability, that one for distract something, And Pastor Chris is writing another one. We have men who are writers on this panel. We have to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Thank you to 4 Points by Sheraton for allowing us to film from a beautiful location. We love, love, love it. Beautiful people, beautiful places, beautiful service. We thank you for that permission to film. Until next week, take care of yourselves. If you missed out on anything, the show is now on YouTube.